Hey everyone, Mike and Aubrey here from Simplify Abroad. We had a lot of questions about why we moved to Spain. Was it so that our kids could play professional football here because they just recently gone to a professional academy? We will talk about that a little bit later, but that is not the reason why we came to Spain. And so I'll kind of let Aubrey kind of touch on this first, like why exactly we chose Spain from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to a point, I think it was like right after COVID, where we're like, we need to go. We need to just sell everything and we're just going to do it. Yep. So I remember making a list and my biggest needs were, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm used to gray. Obviously it's getting better now. Like it's not as gray as it used to be, but I really wanted sun. I really wanted the water. I just love the water. I wanted somewhere super safe where there's plenty of countries safe, obviously, and like all over, but it just with the sun, the safety, and then I did want a language that we could use traveling in majority parts of the world. So I thought Spanish and English for now, and then we can learn other ones later. Yep. I just thought that would be such a very good opportunity for our family to learn the Spanish as well. So and then Spain just kind of fell into that category. So,
well, once you list all those three things, right? I mean, safety, language, and sun, like 300 days plus the sun.
Yeah.
There's not that many places that like actually
fast.
Yeah, like there's not that many choices. Yes. So if you guys don't know from like previous videos or anything like that, we did choose Valencia, Spain 4 years ago. Why didn't we choose Barcelona or Madrid? We get asked that question a ton. So we've been to both Barcelona and Madrid. A couple times to Madrid, only once to Barcelona. To us, it was too big.
We still love it though.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Yeah. I think it's very, very pretty. Both are different they're both beautiful in their own different ways. But to us, it was just too much people. She's from a smaller town in Ohio. Mm-hmm. I'm from Hawaii. Like my Hilo's got like 50,000 people in my town. Nice. It just felt a bit too big. And I don't want to say that it didn't feel safe, because that was a big thing for us, was safety. But Madrid I'd say Barcelona felt less safe than Madrid. Personally, I'm not trying to make any Barcelona people mad. Yeah. And Valencia felt so much safer than Madrid and Barcelona. And then on top of that, we just like the size of the city better here in Valencia.
Yeah.
There was enough people where it felt busy, but not crowded, I guess, if that makes sense. There's more than enough things for our kids to do. There's more than enough sports, schools to choose from, activities to do. I mean, art classes, pottery classes, self-defense classes, football, basketball, like everything you need in Valencia without being as big as Barcelona or Madrid. Sure. And to be honest, I know Valenciano is spoken a bit here, but it's not as much as like Catalan. Yeah. That really did kind of scare us off of Barcelona a bit.
True.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think for us too, I just really love the walkability of it here. And I do feel like I can pretty much walk a whole day and I can get from almost one point to the other, where I could not do that in Barcelona or Madrid. It's very big. It's huge. It's very vast. So
some of those hills too. No hills in Valencia.
Yeah. So I really like the walkability here. And then the public transportation. Obviously, the public transportation in majority of Europe is absolutely fabulous. But coming from Cleveland, Ohio, we do not take public transportation. You do not take that. Everyone has cars, multiple cars. And you take vehicles.
Drive 45 minutes everywhere.
Yes, you do. You do not take public transportation.
Yeah.
And so having that here, I just really enjoyed that. And then our oldest daughter, she now takes the public transportation now because she has different hours of school. So she takes the bus to school and she'll meet her little friends. They go and take the bus together and then they come home together. So I just wouldn't dream of doing that in Cleveland, Ohio. Maybe it's gotten better, but when I was growing up, you don't let your young child take the bus by themselves.
Yeah. And just to add to that a little bit, from our current place in the city, which Aubrey will touch on after this, I'm going to jump into some professional football stuff, but inside the city, our kids can walk to school within 12 minutes.
Yeah.
I think in Ohio where we're at, you probably could walk to school within like 20 minutes, but there's no sidewalks. You're on like a main street. Yeah. Like, this is just not happening.
And then if you wanted to cut through, you're kind of cutting through like
giant property
too.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. And like there's all wooded and lots of trees. So you just kind of, you just don't want to take that risk.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to touch on a little bit is kind of what we mentioned in the beginning. We've done 2 videos in a row. If you guys haven't seen, our last 2 videos was kind of about elite football, soccer, right, in Spain. And then talking about how our boys had actually made a professional academy here. If you guys haven't seen it, we mentioned the team name. It's Levante. They signed a 2-year contract, all that type of stuff. We did not move to Spain for football. I believe you can. I know FIFA gets a little weird about it, but basically what we had to do is our boys had never played soccer or football before they came to Spain. But because everyone plays it here in the Torre, every day at recess, in school, the birthday parties, everyone has a ball everywhere. And this was before Spain obviously even won the World Cup again.
At the beach, I mean, everywhere.
Everywhere you can play football, they play football. So our boys wanted to play. So for 3 years, they joined teams here. They played. They finally, in about a month, they'll start up at the professional academy. But the big thing we kind of wanted to say was, one, if you come here, you basically just have to sign a letter while you're here. You cannot really say that you came here for football. We really didn't. Like, our boys never played before.
We're so young. But
like, you just write a letter that I didn't come here for football. If you did play soccer or football somewhere else, sometimes you have to get a letter of release from that club. Like even in the USA, Germany, wherever it is, just a letter of release. And you basically just do a background check, sign some papers, making sure that the kids aren't forced into this or like almost like trafficked, I guess I would say. And the last question on top of this before I kind of hand it back to Aubrey on top, city versus outside the city, Valencia. Everyone's always asking, what are the top non-professional football teams, soccer teams that you can play with to hopefully get scouted for Valencia, Levante, Villarreal, stuff like that. This is my personal opinion for the 8-on-8, so under 12, basically. These 5 teams I'm about to list almost always finish in the top 5 of the non-professional teams. Every now and then they'll even upset a team. You know, like Torrent, I think a year or 2 ago, upset Valencia 1-0.
They're just very competitive programs. And all like the athletic directors will agree. And we've talked to many athletic directors as well. And then they all have the similar opinion. No matter if you're even on the competitive or the competing team that where you're looking at, they will still say, oh, well, this team is still in the list. Team, So like it's recommended through many people, not just us.
Yeah. And so the top 5 are pretty usually San Jose, Patacona, Alboraya, Torrent, and Torre Levante. I did not really put them in any order. I will say San Jose usually is a little stronger, I guess I would say, but
and they're getting better, but it's a lot of teams.
There's so many teams.
So many teams.
And so those 5 in general do very, very well. Now there's also other great teams that still compete at a high level like Cracks or Ciutat Valencia. They tend to have like the 2015 year really good and the 2018 year really good, but not maybe everyone really good. They're not scrubs by any means, right? They're not bad. They still compete at the highest level. And we actually have played for both those clubs, and the director is very kind. They're great people.
Coaches, like
great locations. If you're outside the city or inside the city, that's where I'm kind of leading towards with this. Cracks for outside the city, Ciutat Valencia for inside the city. But those are the main teams. I'll kind of wrap it up here. I want Aubrey to kind of touch on top city versus outside when you first moved to Valencia, or anywhere in Spain if you're thinking about it.
Yeah. So my recommendation, and I do think when we've talked to people in the past, just from moving here, I would personally recommend at least for the first year until you get your bearings, move inside the city. Move inside the city, get to know the place, get 100%. To make a community, just join everything, go do everything, maybe a year or 2. And then if you really feel like you want to go somewhere, then move outside. So we were 2 years inside the city, then we went 2 years outside the city, and now we're back in.
Yeah.
But personally, I prefer outside the city. It was just easier because we have dogs, we have kids, you just open the doors, they just go around. Yeah. But the driving for us, and because our kids' school was inside the city, it did make everything challenging. And because our daughter started ESO this year, which is, I guess, middle school.
7th grade.
So it's middle school. She has different hours of school. So she starts at 8, where the rest start at 9. Then she's done at 12:45, where the rest are done at 5. So we were constantly back and forth in the car.
Fighting traffic.
And then we did speak a little bit on our last video that our son is going through some health issues right now. And because of this, we were 45 minutes away from the hospital. Now, where we're at currently, we are a 10-minute drive from the hospital and then a 10-minute walk from our school. Yeah. So for us, it just, like for our lives and for the the easiness of our day to day, we had to come back into the city. This was just this wasn't an option for us.
Yeah.
But it is better for the kids. I will have to say it is better for them in ways.
The kids love it. They can just walk out the door and be with their friends. They can go.
All their friends are here.
Grab snacks from the normal store. Go grab a acai bowl. Go get a freaking ice cream together. Go to a little ice skating rink that they have in the Ayuntamiento.
But if your kids go to school outside the city or they go to the private schools outside the city, I guess I would have a different opinion, but because ours actually go inside the city center, that is my main reason of like, that would make our kids' life easier as they grow older because everything for them is in the city.
Yep. One last thing just to add to that, we did send our kids, we did consider private schools. We moved here with our oldest being like 9 at the time.
8.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah. So they were young enough that we did a public school for the first year and then a concertado for the second year. That is all Spanish. They have a single English class. It's pretty weak, right? Spanish English teaching is not the same as like the Dutch or Germany or something like that. Like Spanish English is weaker, but they're fluent in Spanish now. We're very happy with the choice. Yeah. Our oldest daughter actually gets to do a dual diploma. So we'll talk about that in another video, but basically she gets a dual diploma. So a high school diploma in the US and a high school diploma here in Spain. So she can use it in the EU or the States, wherever she decides to go when she graduates.
But that is a completely separate program that we pay extra because it's a part of the school. But if anyone's interested in that, we definitely can talk about that because we're going through it now.
Very reasonable compared to the private schools and stuff like that. But where I was actually heading with this is where in Valencia, if anyone's considering. So a lot of people that we've kind of seen ask us questions on top of our recent videos, stuff like that, is where in Valencia, right? And so where I'm going to recommend is a couple places inside the city that are by far my favorite. And we've lived in a couple of these locations. And then I'm going to reference 2 to 3 spots outside the city that are still kind of close to the metro line, still close to like football teams like Cracks that are pretty good. So inside the city, right off the bat, anywhere near Mercat Cologne. Absolutely beautiful. The only thing I don't love about it is they do have a single metro line near the Cologne station, but like the buses and stuff, they're okay, but it's not as close to like our current location, I would say, but it's still inside the Torre, beautiful buildings, well taken care of, quiet. You know, there's not too much restaurants, but there's not really like nightclubs either, so it's not going crazy. After near Mercat Cologne, I've always loved Gran Via. Absolutely amazing. It's like right across the main street, I guess you should say, from Mercat Cologne. That has a lot of restaurants, a lot of residential buildings. The thing is, no metro that close. Not that it's far. It's like a 5-minute walk to the metro, so it's not a big deal. We're just spoiled because there's like a metro 30 seconds out our door right now. Yes. And the buses are okay there as well. It's a little further, but it's still inside the Torre. Absolutely beautiful area. Love it. The third place I'm going to say is actually not my favorite. I'm just going to list it because so many people live there. It is Rusafa. The food there is amazing, but it is very like expat, American, Dutch, British. People moved in there, bought everything up. Everyone speaks English there. So like the servers and stuff are all speaking English there if you don't speak Spanish. I personally don't care for Rusafa. I think it's an amazing place to go and eat or drink or something. But if I had to live there, I don't know. Like I would recommend it.
Overrun by by people like us, I guess.
Yeah, people like us. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the truth. But so I'm just going to say that because so many people do live there, but I don't know.
And they do love it. I feel like whenever we go out, we do see a lot of retirees are also over there too. Yep. So I don't know if there's a huge retiree.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't know.
A lot of Spanish schools over there, actually. Mm-hmm. The ones that we go to are there.
Oh yeah, for like for adults, like
for the
learning
adults
Spanish.
So on top of that, I don't really like living in the old town. Some people recommend it. Where I was actually going to kind of recommend next, I think it's called like San Franc. It's kind of the area we live in right now. It's pretty close to the dead center of Valencia. Yeah. And so near the Valencia Nord, which is the main train station, near Chativa, I think is how they say it, the main metro, like you can catch every single line from there. I personally really enjoy this location. It's a 10-minute walk to Mercat Central. there's enough restaurants around us. There's coffee shops around us. There's actual like shopping stores around us for either clothing or snacks, food. There's grocery stores.
Yeah.
All the parades come right through the main street. All the fireworks we can see from our balcony. I do love that area. And then the last one inside the city, so I don't make this too long, because there are many other areas.
So many nice
and like
ones.
anything inside the Torre is pretty darn nice. Even just outside the Torre is really nice. But this has always been my favorite is Arancapines. Wide sidewalks, cheaper rent, cheaper food, quieter. I think it's an underrated gem, to be completely honest.
I do like them.
Yeah. Less suit, yeah, but like, I know, we have too many already.
Yeah.
These are a decent 5 to start with. You're going to be anywhere in those locations. You're going to have good access to buses, metro. You can walk pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
And you're going to have food and everything within a couple minutes of you.
I mean, there's so many. We can't list them all, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go wrong. Like, anywhere you choose, I think, inside, like, the
Torre, you're going to be happy.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I'm going to give 2 outside the city real quick. Well, I guess I'll give 3.
Yeah, right.
So 1 is going to be like a La Cañada, La Eliana, San Antonio type of area. It's this little stretch. It's right near Crack's facility. So if you're looking for football, Crack's is a decent team right there. Basically, there's a metro right there, but those lots are a little bit bigger. La Eliana is probably the closest to like an American suburb you're going to get, in my opinion. I haven't seen anything closer than that. So La Eliana, San Antonio, a little more like an older town type of thing. And then La Cañada is kind of like sleepy, I would say, but that's where we lived for a bit. And
San Antonio was always my favorite. I love it there.
Yeah. Nice little shops and stuff. It's cute.
It's super cute.
Yeah. And then the last thing we're going to recommend is a lot more people have been kind of moving out towards the Patacona way, I guess I should say.
Like
Alboraya, Patacona, because you're near the beach.
Yeah.
El Cabanal's not bad. I know it's being refurbished a lot, but it's so.
A lot of people are now going to Mas Camarena, like that whole general area too. But that's not well connected with the metros.
No
or
metro.
buses.
Yeah, there's like one bus that's out there.
But I know a lot of people are going out that way, and it's very beautiful lots. Just a really nice area. Just no public transportation.
Yep. Yeah. And so like I said, Alboraya, Patacona, Cabanal, you're near the beach a bit. Maybe Alboraya has a metro, but Patacona definitely does not. They've got only buses. Cabanal kinda does. San Martin, whatever is the furthest that metro goes. But there's a couple options by the beach. There's a couple options outside the city. And then again, we spent more time inside the city because I think that's where we're going to recommend anyone considering Valencia, Spain. Just to see the other expats and meet other people and make these communities, it's easier inside the city to start. But enough about where you might want to move to.
Yeah.
How can they get here, basically? Like, what are the main ways we see them to get here?
By bus.
Yeah.
So, in general, people who we meet, they are either on a non-lucrative visa or a digital nomad. Now, I'm sure there's other ones that they were on golden visas before, but as of right now, it's non-lucrative in the digital nomad. Or if you have any European, like descent, basically, like I think it was if you're grandfathered into like European nationality.
Grandfather from Italy.
Yeah. So one of our good
Ireland.
friends, it just got, cause her grandfather was born in Ireland. So she was able to prove the birth and then from her grandfather. And then she was now going to go pick up her
EU passport.
Yep. So then she just got her fast track in. So,
and I guess one thing to add to that, I believe if you come from not a Spanish speaking country necessarily, but like Mexico, certain areas in South America, if you come here, you do have a much shorter time than like we have. Like I think it's only 2 years and you can get citizenship. Where how long do we have to go?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
5 years for permanent residency. 10 years for citizenship. Yeah. And so again, those are the main 2 ways. I just want to touch on this little. For the non-lucrative, you're not supposed to work on that non-lucrative visa. That is having just a certain amount of money in the bank. So sometimes people sell their homes. Sometimes people sold a business.
Investments,
rental property, stuff like that. In the US, that comes into a bank account. That's the non-lucrative visa, basically. We sold a small e-commerce business, and that's how we moved here. Once you become a permanent resident, you're allowed to work again, basically, even if it's online.
Yeah.
And then a digital nomad, I believe, is a 25% flat tax.
And you can work.
And you can work,
yeah.
basically. So sometimes there's a little hoop to jump through for like your employer to let you. But if you're self-employed, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
Talk with the lawyer or something to best suit what you need.
Yeah. And so to wrap this up, we are going to be here at least 10 more years. Our youngest did he's the one that got into Levante. And so regardless, a 2-year contract, regardless of how he does, we've been here for 4 years already. Yeah. They have too many friends. They love their school. They're still going to get a high school diploma in the U.S. as well.
This is home.
Yeah, they're set. They have their friend groups. They've got, it's just done, right? Like if we were to yank them now, it'd be
detrimental.
Yeah,
it would be.
It'd be a rough choice.
But this is home for them. This is what they know, and they're happy, and we're happy too. Like we have nothing to complain about. Maybe the weather in July and August.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, this is a great place to be.
Yeah, can't complain. So again, I hope this kind of answered some questions: why we chose Valencia, why we chose Spain. How much days of sun we get, where our kids kind of go to school at the Concertado, professional football, where to live, general topics today. But I hope this kind of made sense, and we'll see you guys in our next video.
Adios.
Adios.